Hey everyone, welcome back to the Iraqi Dinar Intelligence channel. Before we officially commence today's broadcast, let me pose a profound question that might resonate deeply with your experience. How many days have you genuinely felt like you're grinding relentlessly with absolutely no tangible reward in sight? How many distinct times have you truly wondered if your unwavering consistency, patience, and strict discipline will ever ultimately materialize into a payoff? Well, the comprehensive update we have for you today might very well be the precise spark you urgently needed, because Iraq has just executed a massive financial maneuver that not only significantly impacts global analysts, markets, and international investors but also perfectly symbolizes a much bigger, universal message. When you resolutely stay committed for a long enough period, the desired breakthrough eventually and definitively arrives. What is currently and rapidly unfolding inside Iraq right now is much more than just numbers flashing on sophisticated banking systems. It is a powerful, living story of national rebuilding. It is a tangible, verifiable story of immense resilience. It is a triumphant story of a nation confidently proving that long-term vision, strict discipline, and unwavering patience are the true creators of real, structural change. And that very potent message is exactly the reason why you should commit to staying with us until the very final second of today's report, because as we thoroughly break down Iraq's crucial internal exchange rate adjustments, the aggressive modernization of their entire banking infrastructure, and their major, strategic steps toward achieving full international compliance, you will arrive at a powerful, personal realization: your dedicated grind will absolutely pay off, too. So, please sit back comfortably, stay completely locked into this channel, and let's immediately dive into what might be the single most important Iraqi dinar update of the entire year, one that flawlessly mirrors the essential kind of persistence required for achieving any great success in life. Now, let's get right into the core details of the developing news. Iraq has formally initiated numerous official steps inside the country's national banking system that clearly signal a monumental shift in their entire monetary reform strategy. The central bank is actively and continually adjusting all internal mechanisms, positioning itself strategically for a much stronger national currency, and meticulously refining all existing exchange rate controls. These actions are not based on casual government statements or unverified rumors. They represent visible, undeniable actions rapidly occurring inside key Iraqi financial systems and major Iraqi banks right now. But what makes this entire development even more meaningful is the powerful parallel to something every single viewer can easily relate to. Sometimes, you have to diligently work quietly behind the scenes for an extended period long before anyone else truly notices your measurable progress. Iraq has been diligently preparing new tools, clearing all outdated notes, strengthening its currency procedures, and extensively updating its financial laws, all while the rest of the world barely paid any attention at all. That strategic, quiet work is precisely how true personal growth successfully operates. You diligently build strong habits when nobody is watching you. You continue to study rigorously when nobody else truly believes in your capability. You passionately grind while others are busy doubting or asleep. But eventually, just like Iraq aggressively beginning to recalibrate its essential internal rate structure, all that quiet, private work becomes a monumental, public transformation. Today's crucial update is much more than just a dry report on monetary policy. It is a powerful, necessary reminder that sheer consistency eventually and inevitably shows measurable results. As an increasing number of international platforms quietly begin to reflect numerous subtle rate structure changes, seasoned analysts across multiple financial regions are paying very close attention. No, this is definitively not the final international rate announcement, but yes, these important early shifts matter immensely because absolutely nothing in the entire field of economics happens without exhaustive, detailed preparation. And that specific concept is exactly the powerful lesson to remember. Truly big, monumental outcomes always emerge from long-term, comprehensive preparation. Iraq did not successfully jump from a historically war-torn economy to a globally recognized financial system overnight. It was only achieved through the persistent stacking of small, essential steps: digital upgrades, international compliance standards, anti-corruption protocols, foreign exchange partnerships. The exact same pattern applies directly to any long-term personal goal you pursue. If you sincerely desire to build immense discipline, you do not successfully transform overnight. You must start with one key habit: reading daily, waking up earlier, setting strategic goals, eating healthier, controlling all distractions. You must continually stack habits in the exact same way Iraq is diligently stacking structural financial reforms, and eventually, the powerful momentum fully kicks in. Today's timely update is a necessary reminder that powerful momentum often begins very quietly before becoming completely undeniable. Let's discuss Iraq's strategic cleanup of its domestic currency supply. This is an absolutely major, essential step in any country's deliberate preparation for a much stronger currency. The central bank has been meticulously withdrawing larger notes, reorganizing the overall circulation, and actively preparing for the official introduction of more practical, lower denominations. And it is critically important to fully understand the strategic reason this matters so much. A nation simply does not introduce smaller notes unless it strongly anticipates its currency to gain significant intrinsic value. But this strategic decision also teaches an incredibly powerful lesson about life. To genuinely move forward, you must strategically remove what no longer serves your purpose. Just like Iraq actively clearing out all outdated, unnecessary notes, you must diligently clear out all outdated, detrimental habits. If you are sincerely trying to achieve improvement, whether physically, mentally, or financially, you must willingly release the negative behaviors actively dragging you down. Perhaps that is negative people, maybe it's procrastination, or perhaps it's self-doubt. Whatever the obstacle may be, genuine progression always mandates deliberate removal. Iraq is clearly not afraid to release old currency because it firmly believes in its future value. And you should absolutely not be afraid to let go of detrimental old habits because your future value is continuously rising, too. Now, Iraq's active preparation to formally introduce smaller denominations is incredibly symbolic of progress. It strongly signals a strategic readiness for a more confident financial environment and significantly stronger purchasing power. But consider this development from a completely different angle. Sometimes, the smallest, most consistent steps carry the absolute biggest future rewards. Lower denominations may initially appear small, but they symbolically represent something truly monumental for the nation. Your personal habits operate in the exact same powerful way. Reading just 5 pages daily doesn't look significant. Waking up a mere 10 minutes earlier doesn't look significant. Writing down one core idea every single morning doesn't look significant. But over a sustained period of time, these small, consistent investments become genuinely life-changing results. Iraq is decisively proving that small, foundational changes actively pave the essential way for massive, structural transformation, and that specific lesson is deeply understood by every truly successful person in history. True greatness is always built from small, meticulously repeated actions applied consistently over long periods of time. Another powerful, strategic move Iraq has successfully executed is the aggressive expansion of its trade agreements with numerous countries using diversified currency settlement methods. Why is this development so critically important for the future? Because a nation that other countries genuinely trust enough to trade with is a nation that is aggressively stepping into undeniable financial strength. Trust must be earned through consistent action, not simply demanded or requested, and the exact same principle applies directly to your personal success journey. You earn trust only when you consistently demonstrate consistency. You earn confidence only when you display unwavering discipline. You earn opportunities only when you continuously show measurable progress. Iraq did not gain this powerful momentum simply by endlessly talking about reform. It successfully gained this momentum by actively implementing demonstrable reform, and that specific message is crucial for anyone actively pursuing an important goal. It is not about what you strategically plan to do, it is about what you actually execute daily. Daily actions often appear incredibly small, but they compound exponentially. Iraq's daily, Consistent steps over numerous years created the successful result we see today. Your daily decisions will create your successful result tomorrow. The central bank recently strengthened its entire international credibility through achieving global standards and specific compliance certifications. That single achievement is massive because credibility is the absolute bedrock of all financial power. And here is the essential life lesson to remember. Credibility is meticulously built by remaining absolutely consistent with your values and all your actions. If you sincerely desire to succeed, your established habits must flawlessly match your ambitious goals. You cannot confidently claim you want financial growth but then waste money thoughtlessly and impulsively. You cannot claim you want superior health but then consistently avoid discipline. You cannot claim you want major success but then consistently avoid the daily grind. Iraq did not just vaguely claim it was reforming its systems. It unequivocally proved it by successfully meeting all global requirements. When your disciplined actions flawlessly align with your defined goals, results follow every single time. Let's now move into what is actively happening behind the scenes within global banking platforms. Several sophisticated systems utilized by major banks have reportedly been updated to actively prepare for potential future rate synchronization. This does not yet mean the final rate has gone public, but it powerfully shows internal readiness, and internal readiness always precedes any external, public change. Think carefully about your own life journey. You do not officially become successful at the precise moment the world first notices your achievement. You become truly successful months or even years before that moment. During the extended time period when absolutely nobody notices your discipline habits, sacrifices, early mornings, and late nights. External success is purely the public-facing version of your internal preparation. Iraq is currently preparing internally and structurally. You should be continuously preparing internally, too. Inside Iraq, interbank platforms, banking software, and numerous ATMs have been undergoing aggressive digital modernization. These structural steps clearly demonstrate that the entire country is actively preparing for a new financial era of strength. But here is yet another powerful lesson. Modern, elevated environments consistently require modern, elevated habits. If you sincerely desire to elevate your life, you must urgently upgrade the outdated systems within your mind. You must replace fear with focused confidence, replace distraction with sharp focus, replace laziness with unwavering discipline, replace excuses with immediate action. Iraq is strategically upgrading its financial systems because it envisions a stronger future. You must urgently upgrade your mindset because you seek a stronger you. Many experienced analysts now firmly believe we are situated in a critical transitional window, a difficult phase where final public adjustments are preceded by rigorous testing, strategic alignment, and exhaustive preparation. Transition periods are often the most difficult times. They frequently feel incredibly slow and deliberately require immense patience, but patience is not defined as waiting without taking action. Patience is defined as consistent effort applied without expecting an immediate reward. Iraq is currently demonstrating strategic, necessary patience, and that very principle is what consistently separates those who quit prematurely from those who ultimately succeed. Most people impulsively demand immediate results, but real, lasting breakthroughs consistently emerge only for those who stubbornly stay the course. Your disciplined effort today directly creates your successful outcome tomorrow. When Iraq finally activates a complete global synchronization of its exchange rate, it will not only structurally shift its own future but will also positively influence all connected regional currencies. That powerful ripple effect accurately mirrors life itself. When you commit to growth, everything around you subsequently grows. When you increase your personal discipline, your opportunities will exponentially expand. When you decisively improve your mindset, your income and relationships will both improve significantly. 2. Your personal success affects significantly more than just your own life. Iraq's strategic moves will heavily impact all surrounding economies. Your successful moves will impact the entire environment around you. Many reliable insiders have recently mentioned the clear possibility of multiple currency adjustments happening in the future. Regardless of whether that specific event occurs immediately, the core idea powerfully reflects something true. When major change ultimately comes, it often tends to arrive in clusters. In life, once you strategically make one strong decision, such as fully committing to your established goals, other related improvements naturally and consistently follow. You suddenly begin to think better, feel better, and act better. Suddenly, everything in your life begins to align powerfully. Iraq is currently aligning all of its complex economic systems. You must align your environment, habits, and behaviors. Iraq's extensive efforts to strategically unify exchange rates both internally and externally decisively show their strong desire to successfully strengthen national currency confidence. Confidence is immensely powerful, but genuine confidence is not something you passively wait for. It is definitively something you must actively build through consistent, repeated action. Iraq successfully built confidence by earning credentials, improving systems, taking decisive steps, and forming strategic partnerships. You must build confidence by doing the necessary work, not by simply wishing for positive outcomes. Confidence is diligently built, it is never gifted. Let's discuss the fundamental concept of purchasing power. When Iraq explicitly states it wants to fully restore the dinar's purchasing power, it means it sincerely wants its national currency to accurately reflect its real national economic value. The exact same principle applies directly to your personal value. You must actively restore your own essential purchasing power, your time, your focus, your energy. When you successfully control your habits, you fully control your life. When you waste less time, you gain significantly more potential. When you effectively discipline your mind, your entire future becomes exponentially stronger. Purchasing power is fundamentally about value, and your personal value successfully rises every single time you diligently practice self-improvement. For all those who have patiently waited for years watching Iraq successfully rebuild, this current moment serves as a powerful reminder that sheer endurance definitively pays off. Most people impulsively quit right before a major breakthrough occurs. Most people stop when measurable progress feels incredibly slow and uncertain. But true winners stubbornly stay committed and focused throughout the boring, difficult, and uncertain stages of the journey. Iraq strategically stayed committed. You must consistently stay fully committed, too. Whether you are pursuing career goals, health goals, or financial goals, major success belongs exclusively to the persistent. Now, let's directly address the emotional roller coaster that many people inevitably feel while patiently waiting for significant financial developments. It is completely normal and human to experience doubt and uncertainty during long, arduous journeys. But let me forcefully tell you something incredibly important. Every long journey becomes profoundly worth the effort the precise moment the breakthrough finally arrives. Iraq is rapidly approaching a historic turning point, and your life will definitively reach its own turning points, too, provided you absolutely refuse to quit. Every single day you choose to remain disciplined is another powerful step toward your breakthrough moment. When Iraq finally publishes its official next phase, the entire world will react swiftly. Markets will react, investors will react, nations will react, but here is the critical point that matters most: your decisive reaction to the opportunity. When major opportunities finally arrive, you must meet them completely prepared. That is precisely why your disciplined effort today matters so much. That is precisely why your habits matter. Luck does not build success. Preparation, discipline, and consistency build success. Iraq is currently preparing structurally and meticulously. You should be actively preparing just as diligently, too. As we continue to watch Iraq's historic transformation, please always remember this fundamental truth: rebuilding requires significant time, but it consistently leads to something profoundly powerful and much stronger. You have the power to rebuild your life in the exact same way, one single improvement at a time, one habit at a time, one conscious decision at a time. Your discipline grind will absolutely pay off, not because success is easy or guaranteed, but simply because you resolutely refuse to stop the effort. Iraq strategically refused to stop, and that is precisely why it is confidently rising to the occasion now. For everyone who is currently holding the dinar, for everyone who is patiently waiting, for everyone who is continuously believing. Remember this essential advice: patience is incredibly powerful, but preparation is absolutely essential. Educate yourself thoroughly, avoid all unverified rumors, stay reliably informed, make all your financial decisions wisely and disciplined. When the absolutely right moment definitively arrives, you will be completely ready to act. Success consistently rewards those who think wisely and prepare early. Let's conclude with the final, powerful message. Iraq's confirmed financial progress is fundamentally much more than just a news update. It is a powerful, inspiring symbol of resilience, discipline, and long-term belief. These are exactly the core qualities required to ultimately win in life. Your personal journey flawlessly mirrors this national effort. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep improving daily without fail. Success habits consistently compound, and your persistent grind will absolutely pay off in the end. What is structurally happening in Iraq today is definitively history in the making, and your own personal success story is actively being written every single day you choose focused discipline over crushing doubt. Stay patient, stay encouraged, and never allow yourself to forget that your grind will pay off. Thanks for watching today's comprehensive report. Stay hopeful, stay tuned, and stay ready because big, defining things are clearly coming.